I honestly believe that this is the key to day trading. So this video goes out to everybody out there who's been struggling with day trading, learning everything, studying everything, reading all the books, watching all the YouTube videos. This one is for you. In the first 2 years of day trading, I was the absolute worst. I was over trading like 40 trades a day, losing money all the time. Sometimes I would have huge wins, but then I would just lose it all over again. I was watching every single YouTube video, I was reading every book, all the podcasts, studying all the indicators. I was literally trying everything night and day for like 16 hours a day. It was like no matter how much I day traded or how much studying I did or how many times I wrote down my rules in my trading journal, I could never trade the way I wanted to. And looking back, now I know exactly why. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You're looking at the chart and you're looking at where to enter your trade. And before you even enter that trade, you're already feeling extremely anxious and nervous. So you enter your trade anyway. And then when you're in the trade, it doesn't matter if it goes up or down, you still feel anxious. The stock market starts going against you, so you think that you did something wrong and you panic, or the stock market goes with you and it proves you right and you make money, but somehow you still feel bad after the trade. No matter whether I was right or wrong, I would still have all this anxiety that would lead me to over trading, second guessing myself, and studying. And after 2 years, I finally realized what was happening. That's when I realized that every single trade I took, I had the same exact questions. Where do I put my stop loss? How much am I risking? Where do I exit my trade? If the trade goes in my direction, do I exit all of the trade? Do I keep holding on to it? What if it turns around against me? I had all of these questions that was creating all this anxiety. And that's when I realized that this whole time I was day trading, I was just ignoring all the emotions and all the red flags. And I started to realize that I had no idea what I was doing. I was just trading anything and everything off of emotions and intuition. And that was leading to that cycle of over trading, watching all the YouTube videos, reading all the books, using all the indicators, and I was going absolutely nowhere. So what did I do that finally turned me into a profitable day trader who didn't have any of these questions, who wasn't over trading, who had no emotions when trading, and knew exactly what to do? Well, basically what I did was I sat around for a week straight in all my free time, just asking myself those questions and answering those questions for myself for every single scenario. So in other words, when do I enter my trade? I wanted to know exactly what does that look like on every single trade that I ever plan on entering. Where do I put my stop loss? And how much do I risk? And then what happens if the trade works out for me? Where do I close my position? How much do I pull off the table when I'm right? How do I add into that position? And what happens if it just keeps going up? What do I do in all those situations? And that got me to the point where I am today, where I know the answer to all of these questions without even looking at a stock or a chart or anything at all. I know exactly how to do all those things at any given moment for every single trade that I take. What I'm saying is that I never have any questions when I'm day trading. And that right there is the key to being a profitable day trader. It's having the answers to those questions so that you never have to ask yourself those questions and start second guessing yourself when you're in a trade. And that's great and all, but how do we do that? So let me show you exactly the answer to all those questions that I use for myself that created the strategy that I use on every single trade. So let's take a look at some of the trades that I'm in so that we can dissect the questions and answers that I had that led me to these winning trades. So the very first question that I asked myself, that's probably the most important, was what kind of stocks do I want to trade? And I decided that I wanted to trade stocks that had an extremely obvious pattern. I wanted the chart to be so obvious that I couldn't miss where I'd enter and exit my trade. And that just happens to be a lot of the larger cap tech stocks, or just a lot of stocks that do really well in general, like Costco. So a lot of these stocks that just go up and up and up, they tend to move really well because they're traded by a lot of institutions. So as we can see here, this stock had this fairly obvious pattern. And my second question that I had was, where do I enter my trade? And in day trading, really you only have two options. You can either enter here on the breakout of the pattern, or you can enter on a reversal of the pattern. And the thing is, either of these two entries will work really well. But what I like to do is I like to enter only in the direction of the trend. That's why I would only enter breakout up here in the direction of the overall trend, or I would enter a reversal here in the direction of the overall trend, but I would not enter a breakout down this way because you never know when some buyers are going to step in and reverse this back in the overall direction of the trend. Step number 3, where do I put my stop loss? Well, if we were entering right here, I want to put my stop loss on the other side of support. So we can see that there's a bit of support right here, and then we also have some down here. So you could put your stop loss right down here, or if you wanted to be really safe, you could put it down here. And in this case, I put my stop loss down here. Question number 4, where do I exit my trade? Well, over the years, I realized how important risk to reward is, and that's why I don't close any of my position at all until I get to at least 3 times my risk. So if this right here is how much I'm risking, then I'm going to hold out until I get at least 3 times that risk. That's why I put my profit target right here. So now we know, what am I looking for in a stock? Where do I enter my trade? Where's my stop loss? And where's my profit target? And now the next question is, what do I do once my profit target gets hit? Well, once my profit target gets hit, what I tend to do is I'll sell maybe about a third of my position. So once it got up here, I sold about 1/3 of my position. And then I like to move my stop loss up a little above the break-even point. Or if you already have this level of support that we saw before, you can also move that stop loss just beneath that level of support. And now, as you can see, this is what I do on every single trade. I have the answers to all of my questions on every single trade before I even see what I'm trading that day. And this strategy works all the time and it comes up all the time. I use this on a bunch of different stocks on different time frames all the time. Just last week, I took 6 of these trades. I was right on 6 of these trades, and I had an average of a 4R winner on all 6 of these trades. I have no questions when I'm day trading. I have no emotions when I'm day trading. I just follow the same exact game plan again and again and again. I highly recommend watching my video on how to trade like a top 1% day trader. In that video, I cover the 3 things that hold back day traders from being able to use these simple strategies. And I even go over my day trading rules that anyone can use to easily transform their trading in just a few minutes. If you have any questions or need any help, just let me know in the comments below. And until then, take it easy on yourself, and I'll see you next time.